Duplicate transactions that are costing you thousands. Here's how to find them. Hi, I'm Steph. Welcome to the channel. A lot of mistakes that happens within QuickBooks where the owners would double their income happens in this screen, the bank transaction screen. And we're going off the scenario today of the owner, who is Craig, told us that he made some deposits. He already coded the transactions within the banking screen, or he put them in QuickBooks already, and all he wants us to do is just check to make sure that the categories are in fact the right ones before he hands this off to his accountant. So he told us that the deposits that he made were in June, and they were totaling about $1,494.90. So what we have to do is do our due diligence and kind of search for the missing transactions or the duplicate transactions within QuickBooks. And I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do this. So you can search in the bank transaction screen that we have here. You can search the amount that he said that he made the deposit in for $1,494.90. And as you can see, there's nothing in here in his QuickBooks that results in that amount of deposit. Okay, so another way we can search for it is we can go into the bank transaction screen and search for the amount that way. He said that he did deposit it in the checking account, so that's the account that we're looking for the transaction in. So now we're basing it off of the scenario that he made one deposit, but it is not in QuickBooks as $1,494.90, which now we have to think, okay, maybe he made a series of deposits in June totaling $1,494.90. So what I would do if I was looking for Craig's deposits that he made, I would look in the deposits received income column, right? And I see he has some deposits, 55, 200, but he said that he made the deposits in June. So now I would scroll down to June and I would say, okay, you know what? He made, this deposit. So this could be one. Maybe this could be one, maybe this could be one, maybe this could be a deposit. I'm selecting these because there is no bank description, there's no payee of things to indicate that this is for something else other than a deposit. Whereas this money came in, but it's from Dylan. So that wouldn't be a deposit that he made. It's something that a customer has paid him for any work that he's done. Right now at the end here, you can see that it says for money transactions in for $1,544.90. That's one way you can look at it. And it wouldn't be all of these amounts because the amount that he told us was $1,494.90. So if we do a little math, you can unselect this, unselect that, $1,276.15. If you kind of do the math, you can probably select this, and there it is. The deposit that he made consists of 3 deposits for $1,494.90. We've identified the deposits, and now we have to put them into QuickBooks, right? We can either match them here, or we can go into each individual deposit and see if there's anything in there for this amount. What I like to do, I don't like to just group them and match them in because maybe the categorization that he applied to these transactions is incorrect. So what I like to do is I like to X out of there. I'll take one, since I know that these are the 3 that he's made. I'll go and drill into the transaction of $218.75. And I'll go in and I'll look and I'll say, oh, okay, he has a transaction here. I can match it to it, but I want to make sure the categorization is correct. So I'm going to drill into that deposit, and the deposit that he made or that he entered is $218.75, but this is the wrong category because the sales account means that he's gotten paid from customers. Right here in the description, it says contribution from personal funds, which means that he took personal funds from a personal account that he had, and he deposited in his QuickBooks as an investment, which he does not pay taxes on. So we have to change this account to owner's investment to signify that he does not pay taxes on this money, because it is in fact his money that he invested in QuickBooks. So we can change it here, or we can go back to accounting, bank transactions, and then we can scroll down to that deposit, and then we can categorize it for the right account, which would be owner's investment. And then we can post. Now, I want to show you that now those two transactions in there are duplicates, and that is not correct, because he is going to pay taxes on one of them. So now we have to go and find that transaction and take out the duplicate one that has the wrong category to it. So we'll do that now. So we can look for the 21875 transaction in here, and you can see it. There's like 3 in here. So we will look for the one that we coded. We can also go to the chart of accounts, go into the checking register, and look for those transactions which says it's a duplicate here. So now when we look in the checking register, it has 3 here. It has the one that I've coded from the bank feed. It has the one that Craig have entered in himself and incorrectly posted it to the sales product. And then it has another one. This is a test file, so there was some payments that was made that QuickBooks is matching up with this amount for $218.75. So we're going to ignore this one like it never happened, because we're trying to build the scenario. But we're going to take this one that didn't come out the bank feed, and we're going to delete this one. We know that this one came out of the bank feed because it has the little green checkbox and it says manually added from bank feed. So we're going to click on this one and delete that one. So now we only have one here. This one, like I said, this is a test file, so it's going to still be in there. I don't want to delete it, but we're just basically showing that these deposits that he made, he wants it to go to owner's investment because it's personal money coming out of his account. So this is what we coded to. And then we can scroll up to the other duplicate ones, and we know that you're not going to see a green box here because it's still in the bank feed. So if we go back to the bank feed for 408 to go and code it to the correct category, it will show up there with a green box. This 408 would be for the owner's investment contribution that he made from his personal account, so that he won't pay taxes on it. We will code that to owner's investment. We will not match it to the deposit because this deposit is showing the incorrect category for sales and product, which means that he's going to pay taxes on this money. And we don't want to do that. So I'm just going to show you guys that this deposit here is reflecting the wrong account. So we can just change it from here and put owner's investment and click save. Then we can go to the register and look and see that it's going to be duplicate. And when we go to the register for the checking, now I changed it. Before I just deleted it, but I changed it. So now it's only one for owner's investment. Now we have one more deposit to look for, which is the $868.15. We're going to go to the accounting and then bank transactions. And we don't have to look for it because it's still in the bank feed here. So we can code it from here. Like I said, this deposit that QuickBooks is picking up, that one is the wrong deposit that Craig has coded to sales, which is incorrect. We're not going to match it to that one because it's incorrect. We're going to categorize it to owner's investment because he took his own personal money to put in the business the business, and that's his investment. We're going to post it, and then I'm going to go to the register and show you that it's going to be duplicate in here. And like I said before, this 868.15 with the green checkbox is what I just added from the bank feed to code it to the correct account, which is owner's investment. The sales of product income has to be deleted because now his income is being duplicated. If we leave this in here, he's going to pay taxes on the 868.15, which is incorrect. It is not income from a customer. It is money coming into his QuickBooks from his personal account. So we're going to just click on it, click delete, and it's removed. So after you finish, one way you can check whether you're a business owner or a bookkeeper or accountant, you can go in and make sure that everything is categorized properly and that there's no duplicates in the deposits that he told you that he made. So you could go to the accounting tab on the left navigation screen, and then you could go to the reports on the left navigation screen and click standard reports. And we're going to check our profit and loss to make sure that the sales of product category doesn't have those deposits that he indicated that he put into his QuickBooks. So we just click the balance here and we just scan through and make sure that none of those deposits, he had one for $868.15, $408, and $218.75, and it's not here. Okay, so another way that we could check, because we're good on the sales end of it, we can go back to our reports and go to the balance sheet, which shows the investment and the distributions of the owner. We could scroll down to the owner's investment, and that's where we want it. We want it in owner's investment. We can click on the balance and we can see that there is one for $868.15, one for $408, well, two for $408, and $218.75. And that's why I'm saying that you could double check, because see, there's two in here that we have for $408, and that is duplicating income. So what we want to do is delete one of these. We don't want to delete this one because we have the owner's investment here. So let me click on the other one to see if this is the one. So because it has two here, we're going to delete one, and you just pick which one. This has a description here of contributions from personal funds, so we're just going to click into this one and go down to the bottom, click more, and delete. This transaction will be deleted permanently, and then we can refresh, and there it is. Our $1494.90 that he originally indicated that he deposited as personal funds into his QuickBooks account. You have to really make sure that you go in and make sure that all of the transactions are coded properly so that you are not paying taxes on money that you really didn't get. And QuickBooks is just duplicating the transactions based on a miscategorization. If this video has helped you, please like, subscribe, hit the notification button. And as always, you're keeping incredible service simple with Steph. Thanks for watching. Be blessed.